Alright guys, so in this video, I will show you how you can start your own custom jewelry business with a small amount of money. I will show you the entire process of how to make custom jewelry. I'm going to show you how to take any picture and turn it into real solid silver or gold jewelry. And I'm going to show you how to take any object, 3D scan it, and turn it into real jewelry. I'm also going to show you the easiest way to make chains and bracelets. We're going to talk about some very important things about diamonds, and we're going to talk about the many different types of jewelry businesses you can start. If you want to start your own jewelry business, trust me, this is a video that you don't want to miss. We have a lot to talk about. Let's not waste any time and get right into it. What we're going to do is take this picture and turn it into a real piece of jewelry. So technology and AI are completely changing the jewelry industry. Before, people would carve pieces like this out of wax by hand, or you would have to pay around $500 to 3D sculpt something like this. But now you have software that analyzes a picture and can determine the depth of any image by how light and dark parts of the picture are, and the software can make a 3D file from any picture. There are a couple of different softwares that can do this. For this example, we will use VistaSculpt. We're going to upload our image into the program, click Generate 3D Model, and here is the generated 3D model. We're going to click on the toggle bounds box and select the background and remove it. So right now the model is very thin with not too much detail. What we want to do is make it thicker and bring the details out. Right now the thickness is 72. We're going to change it to 150, and now you guys see how much more detailed and thicker the model got. I want it a little bit more detailed, so we're going to change it to 220. And now there's a lot of detail. Some of the parts are rough, but that's okay, we're going to fix it. Click Export 3D Model, and right here is the STL file. You guys see that parts of the face are not perfect. Also, the file is very thick and it's hollow. So what we need to do is get a 3D designer and fix a few things and make this into a solid file. So we're going to go on Fiverr and get a 3D designer to fix this. I'm going to send him the original picture and the STL file and tell him to fix some of the facial features. We need to fix the eyebrows and add facial hair to make it look real. Also, we need to make this model thinner, make it solid, and add a bail to it. And here is the fixed file. You guys see how much better it looks compared to the original. So now what we're going to do is print this into a 3D wax. Here's the wax right here. And the next step is to get this casted into a precious metal. We're going to cast this into sterling silver, and this is a very large and heavy piece. After casting, the piece is going to be very rough. This is a solid piece, so it's very heavy. It weighs 289 grams, and you should be paying around $2 per gram to cast this. Next, we have to get this piece polished and plated, and here's the finished piece right here. In this business, your creativity is the limit, and you can make truly unique, one-of-a-kind pieces. And this is why jewelry is one of the coolest businesses you can start. Now, you guys know these are educational videos, and I want to point out all of the flaws so you guys know what to look out for. If you look closely at the polishing of this piece, the polisher did a very bad job. There are a lot of flaws. There are polishers who don't take pride in their work, and this is why I always tell you guys to find a polisher who takes pride in their work and gives you the finished piece with no imperfections. And by the way guys, everything that I cover in this video, I'm going to have a new module in the course, and we're going to talk about all these topics in depth. Now, I want to show you guys another way to make one-of-a-kind pieces, and that's by taking objects and 3D scanning them and turning them into jewelry. So in this next example, we're going to take these sneakers and turn them into a pendant. Let me show you guys how we're going to do this. We're going to take a RevoPoint 3D scanner and 3D scan these shoes. We're going to do 2 scans. First, we're going to scan the top and bottom of the shoe, and then we're going to scan the sides of the shoe. The scanner will come with the software. We're going to open up the software, place the shoes on the turntable that comes with the scanner, click Start, and we're going to scan the bottom and top of the shoe first. And now we're going to scan the sides of the shoe. Again, the scan is finished, and you guys see how detailed and amazing it came out. Now we're going to click Merge, and the software is going to merge these 2 scanned files together, and it's going to create one file. We're going to save this file as a STL file, and here's the file right here. This file is not finished. We need to make it into a pendant and add some texture to it. Again, we're going to go on Fiverr, and I'm going to pay a designer $35 to do this. I'm going to send him the STL file, and I'm going to give him the details of how I want this piece. So I want this pendant to be 2 inches tall. I want the walls to be 1.5 millimeters. I want him to fix any bad mesh and add texture. And I want to make this piece hollow. So right here, he sent me a video of the finished file, and he also added some outlines around the shoe and added some holes. This is totally fine. It's going to make the piece more detailed. So he sent me the finished STL file. Let's take a look at it. And the file looks perfect. Next, we're going to print this into a wax, and here's the finished wax right here. You guys have to be careful with these waxes because they're extremely fragile. And again, we're going to take this and cast it into silver. So here's the casted piece, and I want to show you guys something very important when you cast jewelry. You have to make sure that the caster places the spools on part of the piece that doesn't have much detail. They put one of these spools on a part of the piece that's very detailed, and that's not correct. So always be sure to tell them where to put the sprues. So this piece weighs 33 grams. We're going to get it polished and plated, and here's the finished piece right here. So this piece came out perfect, but there is one flaw. The 3D designer messed up the Nike logos on the STL file, and I didn't catch that. So always check the finished STL file to make sure everything's correct. Other than that, the piece came out perfect. Let's do a price breakdown and see how much it costs us to make this piece. So we paid $35 to edit the scanned STL file and turn it into jewelry. We paid $10 to print the wax. We paid $66 to cast this into silver. And we paid $30 to polish and plate this piece. So the total to make this piece was $141. You can easily make one-of-a-kind unique pieces and add them to your collection. And you can easily sell custom pendants like this for double. You can also use 3D scanners to scan dental cements and make custom grills. Alright guys, now I want to talk about how you can start your own custom jewelry business without a lot of money. First, I want to show you the complete process of how to make a custom piece of jewelry for a customer. So let's say a customer wants to make a pendant out of these 3 letters. They will tell you all the details about the piece, including the size. Let's say they want to make this 3 inches wide. First, we have to get a 3D designer to make this into a 3D file. Again, we're going to go on Fiverr and find a 3D jewelry designer. It's going to cost us $20 to make this file. I'm going to tell the 3D designer the details of how I want the piece and attach our picture. It will take the designer a few days to make this file, and here's the file right here. Let's click on the picture, confirm everything is how you want it, and they will also show us the approximate diamond carat weight. So this piece will have 0.98 carats of diamonds, and they will give us the approximate weight of the piece. We're going to download the STL file. Here's the STL file right here. And the next thing that we will do is print this into a 3D castable resin. In the previous examples, we had our pieces printed in wax, but you can also print your own resin and it's going to be a lot cheaper. We're going to use the Elegoo Saturn 4 printer to print these. If you're going to buy a resin printer, do not buy anything older than a Mars 5 or Saturn 4. The reason is, these new printers have a new technology where you don't need to level the print plate, which was a big headache before. You simply turn on the printer and the printer is ready to print right out of the box. Also, these printers are cheap and only cost a few $100s. The printer will come with a software called Box. Let's open up the software and drag and drop our STL file. Click on the right tab and add all supports. And I want to break down exactly how much it will cost us to print this resin. We're going to use the Seriatech purple resin to print this file. We're going to pour this resin into the tank and always use gloves and wear a mask whenever you're dealing with resin. Let's go back to Box. Click on settings, click resin type, and our resin costs $35 for half a liter, or $70 for a full liter. Click apply, click slice, and it will only cost us 56 cents to print this file ourselves, which is incredible. This is why 3D resin printers are great, especially if you don't live near a 3D jewelry printer. Click save and save the file onto the USB drive that comes with the printer. Next, insert the USB drive into the printer, prime the print plate, and hit print. And the printer will take about an hour to print this file. After it's finished printing, take out the print plate, and here's our printed resin. Everything looks perfect, and it printed in extremely high quality. Next, remove the resin print from the print plate, and put it in alcohol for a few minutes. Move it around to get rid of the extra resin. Next, take another bin of warm water and wash out the resin. And the next step is to cure the resin under UV light for a few minutes. And here's our finished print right here. Dry it out, and the final step is to cut off all the supports. Go ahead and cut off all the supports, and here's our finished resin. The next step is to cast this piece into silver. There are many casting places that can do this. You should be paying around $2 including the silver to cast. This piece casted flawless and it weighs 48 grams. Next, we're going to get this piece polished, set lab diamonds into it, and here's our finished piece right here. Now, I want to do a price breakdown of how much it costs us to make this and how much money we would make if the customer wanted to make this in silver and in gold. It costs us $20 to make the design. I'm not going to calculate the resin printing cost because it costs nothing. It costs us $96 to cast this into silver. The piece has 56 stones, and it costs $1 to set each stone, so that's $56. There's 0.98 of a carat of lab diamonds, and you guys can get lab diamonds for around $60 a carat, so that's $59. It will cost us $30 to polish and plate the piece, so the total to make this was $261. And you guys can easily sell custom pieces like this for double what it costs you to make. Or, if you're just starting out and you want to build your client list and your Instagram page, which in the jewelry world is your resume, you can sell these kind of pieces for cheaper and make $100 on each piece. This is real silver jewelry with lab diamonds, which are real diamonds. So when I tell you guys you can start a jewelry business with under $500, it's not clickbait, and this is a real example with proof. If we were to make this piece in 10 karat gold, the piece would weigh a little bit more than 48 grams, because gold is heavier than silver. But let's just say it was the same weight. You would pay $3 over the spot price of gold to make this in gold. 10 karat gold is around $35 a gram, so you would pay around $38 a gram to cast this. So the total to make this was $1,989. And again, our goal will be to sell this for double. But like I said, you guys can't give discounts when you're first starting out to get repeat clients later. Every big jeweler that you know was a small jeweler at some point, and everyone has to start somewhere. So you would take the money that you would make from this piece, reinvest that money, and make more pieces. Now, I want to talk to you guys about something important. There's a huge lab diamond scam going on eBay, so make sure you don't fall for it. There are a bunch of Indian sellers selling moissanite as lab diamonds. This is really one seller who has a ton of seller accounts and a ton of fake buyer accounts, and he leaves himself fake feedback. They have a big scheme going on. Most people don't have the correct tools to check lab diamonds. Most people use cheap diamond testers and they think they got a lab diamond. If you look at all these sellers, all of their descriptions are very similar. All the bad feedbacks that real buyers leave these people get swept under the rug by all the fake feedback they leave themselves. So make sure you don't buy lab diamonds from eBay. Almost all the lab diamonds at these price ranges are fake. And the last thing that you want to do is sell your customers moissanites as lab diamonds. That's how you destroy your business before you even start. If you want legitimate lab diamond dealers, I give you guys those in the course. Now, I want to talk to you guys about making chains and bracelets. As you guys know, chains and bracelets are made by hand, and it's labor intensive. Links are soldered together and it costs money to do this. An easy way to save money on labor is by simply printing the entire bracelet yourself and cast it in whatever precious metal you want. This will save you a ton of money on labor. You can do this with wax printers or resin printers. Wax printers will require less work, but the problem is many wax printers charge a lot to print these. Your goal is to save money. So what you can do is you can get these printed overseas for cheap. And they can print this in a wax, which is not so fragile, and you can hand set stones in this wax by yourself. You can cast this wax with the stones and save a lot of money on diamond setting as well. So the cool thing about starting a jewelry business is that there's a niche for everyone. I want to show you guys another cool way to start a jewelry business with a small amount of money. You can make simple, unique jewelry with laser machines. So let me show you guys an example of this. You can buy wholesale gold or silver pendants like this heart right here, and you can make custom pendants like these baby fingerprint pendants right here. These pendants cost nothing to make, and there are sellers on Etsy who make a ton of money doing this. They simply buy these wholesale. It costs around $20 to laser a picture, so the cost to make these is nothing. And you guys can easily do this. The customers simply take a pencil and make a baby fingerprint, take a picture of it, and send it to the seller. And you guys can easily pick a niche and start a business like this. The point is, no matter what kind of jewelry business you want to start, whether it's custom silver or gold jewelry, or grills, or special niches like these baby pendants, anyone can get into this business without a lot of money. And if you're interested in starting your own jewelry business, be sure to check out the jewelry course. It will teach you absolutely everything you need to know about this business. We already have a bunch of people that are brand new to this and are already making their own pieces and getting sales. And there's no reason why you can't do the same. Alright, I hope this video was helpful to you guys. Let me know what questions you guys have about this business in the comments below. Please hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.